Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to the second edition of Tune In Tuesday. Sorry, we had a little issue with the rotation of the iPad. It is the third Tuesday of the month. So, thank you for tuning in. As you know, I posted earlier over the weekend that I had picked up some new books for Tune In Tuesday, and I really couldn't decide which book to read to you tonight. So I asked you for some votes. There were two choices: How I Met My Monster and We Don't Eat Our Classmates. And so the voting ended at 7 p.m. tonight, and the winner was How I Met My Monster. So tonight I'm going to be reading this story to you. If you are here and watching, will you comment below that you got on tonight and you watched Tune In Tuesday live? Because tomorrow I'm going to be going through those comments and picking one winner. One read student will go home with this story, How I Met My Monster. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. How I Met My Monster by Amanda Knoll. Lower this light just a little bit so you can see better. One night, when I reached under the bed for my truck, I found this note instead. Here's the note from the monster. From the office of Mr. Z. Monsters, meet here for final test, Z. Ha! My parents were obviously trying to trick me into staying in bed. I don't believe in monsters. So I crumpled the paper, grabbed my truck, and zipped over to my garage. I heard some creaking and rumbling, but I wasn't scared. Our house has always made noises at night. But then a voice under the bed scolded, "Stop that stomach rumbling. The child will hear you." Voices? Stomach rumbling? The child will hear you? If this was part of my parents' trick, it was pretty cool. I peered into the inky blackness. 5 pairs of eyes blinked back. See? Now he knows we're here, the voice sighed. One of you has broken Monsters Rule number 1. Maintain the element of surprise. This is no trick, I thought. There are monsters under my bed. Peered. That's such a great word. He didn't look under the bed. He peered under the bed. Oh my goodness, look at those monsters. A long-necked yellow monster slid out, followed by 4 little monsters. Rule number 2. The yellow one instructed, never block the bed. All of you, scoot over. Hey, I realized. That one must be their teacher. I sat up straight, mesmerized by the monster parade shuffling across my bedroom. That's better, the teacher monster said. Access to the bed is clear. Now, who knows rule number 3? The purple monster teetered on his tiptoes and gurgled, "Get the child into bed." That's correct, Genesis. And how would you do that? Well, Mr. Z, I would roar my scariest roar. All right, give it a go. Genesis took a deep breath, opened his mouth, because he has more than one, and let out a tiny burp. Look at the little kid laughing at that. Stomach rumbling would have been a better choice of getting him into the bed than a funny little noise, I laughed. The child is right, said Mr. Z, shaking his head. That was not sufficiently scary. Genesis, I'm sorry. You're not the best monster for this child. There was some creaking as Genesis slunk beneath the bed. Before I could investigate where Genesis had gone, Mr. Z asked, "Now, who wants to try to get the child into bed?" The orange monster looked at the ceiling, and the red monster looked at the floor. Only the green one looked at me. First, he stared at my toes and started drooling. Then he took a step toward me, and I heard that rumbling noise again. I sprang into bed so he couldn't get my feet. Mr. Z blinked. "Very unconventional, Gabe. Your stomach gurgles seem to be what this child needs. What I needed was to make sure this little green monster didn't eat my toes." "Right. You three. The child is now in bed," said Mr. Z. "As every monster knows, the ultimate objective is rule number 4. Who can tell me what it is?" The orange monster bounced and squeaked. "Keep the child in bed until he falls asleep." "Oh, here's drink." "Okay, you get down. Or you can sit down next to me for the story, okay?" So, correct, Morgan. And how would you accomplish that? "Shadow puppets," he squeaked again. Gabe whistled through his nose and I snickered, but Mr. Z said, "Interesting idea, try it." Morgan hopped on to my night table and flailed her arms near my lamp. Silly shadows blobbed onto the wall, and a cloud of fluffy fur tickled my nose. "Achoo!" "Morgan, stop at once," Mr. Z ordered. "You're supposed to scare him, not make him sneeze." "I'm sorry, but you're not a match either." Morgan's arms flapped to her sides, and she scuttled under my bed. There was some creaking, and Morgan was gone. "You can come sit over here and be in the story?" Drake's still on the couch. Come here. Oh, there you are. You want to say hi to the kids? They got to learn about you. Yeah, I went in and told them all about you so that when you come to school, they'll know what to do when they see you in the hallway. After all that sneezing, I really needed a tissue. Suddenly, a huge shadow of uncut claws loomed across my room. Awesome, I thought, and kind of scary. I froze in place. "Powerful performance, Gabe," said Mr. Z. "But do either of you see a problem?" "Oh, I know," chirped the red monster. "The child is out of bed again." "Correct, Abigail," Mr. Z continued, "and one of you must get him back in. Let's revisit rule number 1. Maintain the element of surprise." All at once, poof, the monsters vanished. Then I heard some rumbling. Were they hiding in my closet? Making noises to scare me? Ha, no, it was only my stomach grumbling. All this excitement was making me hungry. Do you guys think that what the monsters are doing is working? I don't think so. I think they were trying to make him scared, but he doesn't seem scared at all. I tiptoed past the closet and peeked out the door. So far, so good. No monsters. Then I stepped over the squeaky stair and sneaked down to the kitchen. As I reached into the pantry, I heard some chattering behind me. I sure hoped it wasn't the toe-loving Gabe. I yanked open the fridge. Ha! It wasn't Gabe. It was just the red monster shivering on the shelf. "Found you!" I laughed. "Nice try, Abigail," said Mr. Z, "but this isn't working. You're not the right monster for this child." "But Mr. Z," she whined, "it's not my fault he's not scared of me." "I'm sorry, Abigail. Let's go." Abigail clomped behind Mr. Z. When I heard the creaking, I knew she was gone. I grabbed some crackers and headed upstairs, wondering if Gabe was gone too. I munched all the way down the hall, then went into the bathroom to brush my teeth again. When I opened the door a minute later, Gabe was definitely not gone. He was right there. He was huge. Look how big Gabe is. I charged into my room and slammed the door. When I leaped into bed, I knew my toes were safe. Phew! I was surprised to hear breathing under my bed. Ragged breathing and stomach rumbling. "Hey, kid," Gabe growled. "Good to see ya." I pulled my covers up tight. Now, if you don't mind, I'd like to start the evening with an ominous puddle of drool. I peeked over the edge of the bed. Green ooze spread soundlessly from underneath. Then the bed quivered as Gabe unfurled his spiked tail. "Well, this looks quite promising," Mr. Z noted. When I heard some more creaking, I knew Mr. Z was gone. I was alone with Gabe. Gabe loomed over my bed and began sharpening his uncut claws on the bedpost. How'd you get so big?" I gasped. "Rule number 5, my friend," he explained. "People food makes monsters grow. So thanks for the crackers. Got any toes I can munch?" I scrunched in my feet so Gabe couldn't get them. This was way better than playing with trucks. "No toast tonight, but you can have this," I offered, tossing a stuffed monster off the bed. Gabe dove for it. His soft, comforting snorts filled the room, and as he snuffed the toy, I shivered. "Kid, I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship. No other monsters can scare me like you," I giggled. Gabe was the monster for me. His snorts and ooze were perfect. I yawned, then shivered again. I was asleep in no time. All right, boys and girls, how I met my monster. So if you are on tonight, please make sure that you comment below. Again, I'm going to be picking a winner to take this book home tonight. Thank you so much for participating, and we'll see you guys during our next Tune In Tuesday. Have a good night. Bye-bye.